My mom's friend decided to test my allergies. I have a severe allergy to bananas. This only developed about 5 years ago. It started off with small reactions, but with each exposure they got worse to the point where my mouth and throat will painfully swell up and close up if I eat anything with even a trace of banana. Last year I went on holiday with my parents and my mom's best friend Davina, 60F, and her son Max, same age as me. Davina has been a family friend since me and Max were in primary school, and she's always been a nice person. But recently she revealed that while we were on holiday, her and Max tried to get me to unknowingly eat or drink something with banana in it, as she decided I was making my allergy up. She told us this last week at a family barbecue as some kind of "I told you so." Luckily for me, the drink I unknowingly tried only had artificial banana flavoring, didn't contain any real banana, which we had to explain wouldn't have affected me anyway. My parents know that she didn't believe me, but they don't yet know about what Davina did on holiday as they were busy cooking food. Only me and my grandparents were present when she said what she'd done. I'm just so upset that she was so convinced I was lying. She tried to ruin my holiday / take my life on the off chance I'd made it up. I feel so angry that she wouldn't even ask my mom to clarify it for her, and that she thought it was up to her to decide if I'm faking. Also, I don't see what I have to gain by making up such an obscure allergy. I loved bananas before this, and I'm actually sad I can't eat them anymore. She's my mom's only real close friend, but I can't even stand to hear her name anymore. I keep crying at the thought of her still being included in family events, but I also feel so guilty about wanting my mom to not see her for a while. I'm very close to my mom and I couldn't stand to see her upset. Should I tell my parents what she did, or should I just let it go for the sake of a long-standing family friendship? Comment. Tell your parents. This person is insane to be a 60-year-old and feel compelled to test an allergic reaction in case you were faking it. I'd knock that hag right out if that happened to my daughter. Exactly. That is so crazy. My mom developed an allergy to tomatoes in her late 40s, and it almost killed her. She kept going to her doctor, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. Took an ambulance ride after her throat closed up to figure out it was an allergy. Some banana allergies are a latex allergy. It may be a good idea to see an allergist so you don't have a reaction to anything else. You should definitely tell your family. Allergies are not be taken lightly. I have a latex allergy. It's honestly surprising how many things are connected to it. Especially with food. Everything from bananas, which grow on a rubber plant. But not just the obvious things. It can include peaches, watermelon, passion fruits, and a lot of other things. But each person is different depending on their sensitivity to latex. Tell your parents. Have her confirm it with your grandparents. Have your mom talk with Davina and confirm to her your allergy, and let Davina know it could have severely impacted you. Do you really think Davina would pay the hospital bills if you had a severe reaction and needed medical treatment? Your mom needs to address this with her friend. Hi fellow banana allergy friend, you should absolutely tell your parents. These people can get out of hand very quickly. My STB ex-husband's first wife brought me a smoothie after I picked up the kids when I was 8 months pregnant. I hesitated to take it but did take it from her. She insisted I take a sip to see if I liked it, but my gut told me not to. I declined with pregnancy sickness. When we got home, my stepdaughter told me her mom had them put extra banana in mine even though they told her I was very allergic. Then Hubs confronted her and she admitted to wanting to test my allergy. Needless to say, I never did pickups or drop-offs again. Stay safe from the crazies. Next story 2. My fiancé secretly invited another man on an international trip. I and my fiancé have been together for 6 years. We never had any issues with infidelity prior to this that I'm aware of. The other day we were looking at something on her phone together and a message popped up from a man I wasn't familiar with, and she flipped it away as soon as possible. I was curious about that, so later I snooped and checked the messages. What I found is pretty messed up. She was going to Paris, France alone in November. We live in the US. In the text she tells this guy, who is her co-worker, that she is planning to go to Paris. He says how much he wants to go there someday. She gives him an open invitation to go along with her. He says he wishes he could go but he needs to be somewhere that weekend. All the texts are very flirtatious with emojis and whatnot. Then later on the messages, they discuss how they are going to go hiking and bring their dogs at this nature preserve. It so happens to land on the exact week that I'm out of town. Later that day I ask her what she is planning on doing when I'm out of town. She says a whole bunch of things that are not related to her hiking excursion. This was today that I asked about it. So I hired a private investigator to go to that nature preserve on the same day. So what I'm asking you anonymous internet strangers is, what should I do? Wait to see what the pie says? Are the current details enough of a smoking gun for a confrontation? Is this something you'd end a relationship over? It is killing me trying to act like everything is fine until the hiking date. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to trust her after this. Please let me know your thoughts. Comment. Why do you need a pie? You have the texts. You know there's shady business going on. Who cares what the details are? Just end the relationship already. Right? Pies are there for when you think maybe some shady stuff is going on but you have no proof. Op has plenty of proof fiancé has overstepped bounds. Flirtatious texts with co-worker. An open invitation with said co-worker to join her on an international trip in a romantic city, and plans to meet up with said co-worker while Op happens to be out of town and failing to mention these plans when directly asked about what she will be doing. I am not even the kind of person who would have a problem with my partner meeting or hanging out with a co-worker of the opposite sex, but it's the sum of all the inappropriate interactions, even planned ones that haven't occurred yet, with this co-worker. Op, you don't need to find them mid-coitus in order for boundaries to be crossed here. It's the intent of the interactions here. She's done enough to break whatever trust one might have had for a partner. Cancel the private investigator. Waste of money. I've been in the exact situation as you, but with my ex-wife. Your girlfriend is at a minimum having an emotional affair with her coworker. At a minimum an emotional affair. If nothing sexual has happened yet, it will. You need to set boundaries now and enforce them. If you do not enforce your boundaries, she will not respect you and will continue to walk all over you until she eventually ends it. You need to tell her you know about her relationship with so-and-so from work, it's inappropriate and shows a complete lack of respect for you. If the roles were reversed, she would flip out on you. If she denies that, she's full of shit. Tell her she needs to find a new job or the other man needs to ASAP or your relationship is over. You will no longer have contact with her. She is no longer welcome in your home, etc. She's going to deny and slash or press you on how you know this info. Do not say a word. Nothing, no matter what. How you know is irrelevant. All that matters is you know. If you tell her you snooped or hired a pie, she will lie and turn it around on you. She will play the victim and make you out to be the bad guy for not trusting her. Classic gaslighting, and I guarantee she will do it. If you enforce your boundaries, you are showing that you are strong and confident, which is attractive to women. She's either going to realize what she's losing and end it, or leave for good. If she leaves for good, while it sucks, at least it's on your terms. This will help you to heal and move on feeling better about yourself. Since you spent money on a pie, I would wait. I am like you though, I would want to confront immediately. I would have all prep done by the time she gets home. Cut all contact, she will go through various stages. She just went on a romantic holiday with another man while in a relationship. I would pack her a bag, and change the locks on the house for when she gets back. Or put her stuff in storage. Do as much as possible to end this while she is gone. I would finish and go home immediately, claim family emergency because it is. Or have friends and family help you. As far as telling her, you don't need a pie to tell you it is inappropriate for an engaged woman to go on vacation with another man to Paris. You can send her that text. See, I told you I would want to confront. Please update, sorry I wrote that stream of consciousness. You already know that she is trying to have an affair. Talk to her about deal breakers. Secret time alone with another man is a deal breaker. Talk about if she has doubts to just break up. Talk about how disgraceful it is for a person to fish for an alternative relationship while still holding on to what they have in case it doesn't work out. Really expand on how unforgivable it is. Then see if she is shocked into reevaluating her behavior. Just remember that you don't need proof of anything to break up. What you know is already disloyal and inappropriate by many people's standards. It sounds like she's trying to make it more with this guy and he isn't on board. Next story 3. I messed up with my fiancé. We've been together 5 years, and engaged for 1 year. He's recently been going either leaving for work earlier, coming home later, or both. We recently decided to join checking, and noticed no extra pay which didn't make sense. Asks about OT and blamed payroll. Also, whenever I'm near, walk into the room or whatever when he's on his phone, he quickly locks the screen and flips over the phone. My curiosity got the better of me, and got somewhat of a view of his passcode. I tried unlocking the phone when he was asleep, but failed. Morning came, and didn't come down for a bit when he woke up. When he did, he tossed his phone next to me with selfish of me trying to unlock his phone. He tells me I should trust him, and said to go through if I wanted. I do, just a few texts on there from me, family, etc. Email app empty, nothing bad in photos app call logs empty, etc. I do suspect any wrongdoings were cleared out, but it does seem too clean, and now he's making me look like I'm in the wrong. What would be the best way to move forward? Comment. Of course he showed you after he had time to delete the information. His actions are showing you that he's up to something. You need to stand your ground and have him explain the work hours and other odd behaviors. Postpone wedding until you get answers. If the password is needed to ease your mind, then he should be happy to give it. You might want to reconsider the relationship as you are already having to deal with this. The call logs bit is so sketchy, whoever deletes them. Photos, texts, etc. PPL will delete for more storage, but I don't know anyone who has ever deleted call logs, especially right before letting someone go through their phone. Seriously, lol, he wiped it so that Up could go through it and not see anything shady. Up, I would bring up your suspicions about OT next time he comes in late, assuming the initial argument is over, and definitely demand to see the phone again. Throughout Reddit and the internet I am sure you can find tips on how people commonly try to hide things on their devices. Be prepared so that you don't leave any stones unturned. For whatever reason, he was acting in ways that raised your suspicion. For whatever reason, you didn't feel like he was telling you the truth when you asked him about some of those inconsistencies. For whatever reason, you didn't ask him right to his face if he would feel comfortable handing over his phone, just to ease your mind about these behaviors. And now, for that same reason, he's tossed his phone at you and dared you to look through it at a time when doing so would solve nothing. He's not addressed his own behavior, and you haven't brought up why his explanation was insufficient. Your relationship lacks emotional intimacy. You don't have difficult conversations because you don't trust each other to work towards a mutually happy solution.